Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Birds and the Birding Tidbits presentation here at Hemlock Crossing at the Nature Center at Hemlock Crossing County Park. Excuse me while I straighten out my stuff here. It's a quick transition from our feeder watching session to this Birding Tidbits, but I want to welcome all of you in person and online. Let me know if you are having any issues hearing or seeing me online so that we can get them corrected. Please put them in the comments. I think I can see the comments pop up on here as you type them. So, and I will try to deal with them as possible. At least somebody out there, let me know that you can hear. Happy birding from Spring Lake. All right. Everything sounding okay there? Oh, it's Tabitha. Hi, Tabitha. She's my coworker. So, yep. My name is Curtis Dykstra, Parks Naturalist and Program Supervisor with Ottawa County Parks, and I get the privilege of hosting Coffee with the Birds. So thank you for joining and making this an event for your Valentine's Day. Though some of you in this audience were in watching the birds, or at least however many we could find, and the squirrels, may have been more squirrels than birds this time, for feeder watching session 1. Now this is our second part of Coffee with the Birds, right here in the great room where we talk, where I give a presentation on anything birding, bite-sized presentation on anything bird-related. Some of you came for this presentation and then are planning to stay for the second session. Raise your hands if you are newly arrived for this. Yeah, okay, welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here, and what I'm going to do is just jump right into it. So the 2025 Mug Club Photo Contest was a lot of fun. I'm going to flip through this pretty quickly, but we had 167 entries, and this is a mosaic of all of them, so now you all, if you entered a photo, have been online and featured on the screen here. We had some honorable mentions, White-Eyed Vireo by Matt Anger, Ruby Crown Kinglet by Ryan Beebe, which was last year's winner with the American Avocet. Snowy Owl by Lene Roon, and Red-Breasted Nuthatch by Janet Lewis. And if you attended last month, you saw the video of their interviews of the stories behind their taking the photos. That is still online, so you can go to the Parks YouTube page, so Ottawa County Parks YouTube page, and you can find the video there. It's also on the website miottawa.org/birding. You can find it through there as well, through the videos tab. And of course, last but not least, the winner this year of the 2025 Mug Club Photo Contest and put on the 2026 Mug Club mug is Great Blue Heron by June Kuiper from Stuyvesant Trails last year. So this, look at that date, almost a year ago. So that meant she was taking pictures before Coffee with the Birds was even done that season. I hope you guys are out there taking pictures too. And you can join the Mug Club for $25. You can get a membership, which includes the mug and actually includes a lapel pin. Get yours today. We have them. All you need to do is show your mug and be honest with us that you didn't pick up one 5 minutes earlier. Show your mug, grab a pin, wear it proudly. We got these pins because we had a little issue with the coloration on the mugs. They're a little dark, and they weren't able to correct it, so they got us these pins, which are really fun and beautiful. If you have not purchased your mug yet, don't worry, there will be pins included in every new mug purchased as well. If you don't have your mug to show to get your pin, give them your name, and then they can look you up on a list and ensure that you are a Mug Club member, and we'll give you your pin. And so wear that around, and when people ask you what that is, tell them about Coffee with the Birds. All right? All right. Ooh, there we go. And the calendars, they're available for $25 each. I don't know that there's a whole lot of them left, and I know it's halfway through February, but that means you still have a bunch of you got 11 calendar pages to enjoy. You've only missed January, and you still got half of February. So please do support the Career Line Tech Center students from the Environmental Field Studies class that put this together and are selling them. with some of their favorite photos from the photo contest. And they're selling them back there. Oh, you've been waiting for this. I thought I could know last month. It didn't work. We've finalized the categories for the 2026 photo contest. Drum roll, please. All right, here they are. Number 1, warblers. I was thinking about winter birds, but that wouldn't be fair because we're already almost done with winter, right? No, warblers. So warblers includes anything in the family Parulidae. It doesn't have to have warbler in the name, like an ovenbird. My favorite bird is a warbler and doesn't have warbler in the name. Northern Parula is another one. But just has to be a warbler somewhere in Ottawa County during this year, from November 1st, 2025, all the way through October 31st of 2026. Birds in flight, like this bald eagle by Gene Braxma. And I forgot to say, this is Matt Anger. He's the guy that did the white-eyed vireo, too. Had a nice magnolia warbler, so I thought I'd represent it in there. Any bird that's in the process of taking flight or landing or in flight would be our category number 2. Number 3, Grand River Greenway Parks. What we want to do is encourage you all to get out to our different parks in different locations of this county so that you can see what we have to offer. And with it being the first year that we're doing these categories, we said, let's go with our biggest greenway, has the most opportunities for you to find a park to find a bird photo on, and that is the Grand River Greenway. You can see in the email that I sent out, there's a link that clicks over to Grand River Greenway, but if you just Google search Grand River Greenway, you can find information on it. Basically, any of the parks on the Grand River in Ottawa County are part of the Grand River Greenway. Even some that are tributaries into it will count as well. But take a picture of a bird, doesn't matter which bird, doesn't even have to have the Grand River in it. But if you were at Grand River Park and you got a picture of a flicker that you think is just awesome, submit it into this category, right? Okay, it's not a warbler, it's not in flight. Well, it's at a Grand River Greenway Park. That's where I'm selecting to put it in. Now, if you are a youth, 17 and under, guess what? Any photo goes, okay? We want to get our youth involved. We want to get young people out there taking photos of birds, and we want to highlight that. So if you are a young person, 17 and under, we want to see your photos. If you have a kid that might be interested to do that, encourage them to do that and pass on the gift of birds and birding to them as well. Now you say, that might leave me out because what if I can't get here? I can't get a bird in flight. I don't know how to find warblers. Well, guess what? We've got a general submissions category as well. Okay, so no bird will be left behind. Okay, any bird photo taken during that time frame in Ottawa County can be, if it doesn't fit any of these categories, can be put in here. We ask that if it fits a category, put it in the category. Okay, if it doesn't, and it was in your yard, and it's not a warbler, and it's not a bird in flight, put it here. Okay, I was going to call that the mug category, but that would confuse because all submissions to any category will be considered for the grand prize and placement on the mug. Okay? Doesn't matter the category. So do your best. You should be able to do 4 submissions instead of 3 now, because we're going to say at least 1 per category. And that's the plan now. If that changes, we'll let you know. And we would love to see your submissions. We don't have this open for submissions now, but I want you to keep this in mind while you're taking photos this year for when submission opens, probably sometime later in the summer when we start to hype that up. Don't start submitting your photos now because you might get a better one between now and then, right? So just keep that in mind. We would love to see your entries this coming October. I like to do a little update. Did my microphone just go off? Did it just go off?
Yeah. Probably battery.
Well, that's interesting.
There was a snap. Yeah.
There was a snap. You hear me now? No, you don't. Well, I'm just going to talk. I'm trying to do the right thing and have this so everybody can hear me, but I'll talk real loud. I was trying to save my voice. I got a little bit of a cold coming on, so I'm going to save my voice. But I'm going to update you on the birding challenge, 50-50-50 birding challenge that I'm doing. I'm aiming to see 50 birds in all 50 states by the time I'm 50. I am 48 and will be 49 next month. So time is running out, okay? And that's why I made a trip to Washington and Idaho this last summer, because I needed those two states. And I just put out my new Washington Part 1 Birding in Washington video. So do check it out on my YouTube page, The Oven Birder. You can click on that and you'll find it. And I'm working on Part 2. Hopefully we'll have that done in not too much time. Guess what? Since the last Coffee with the Birds, I did some traveling. I needed to go to Las Vegas for the birds. Okay, for the birds. And that is actually what I did. I did not gamble. I'm not a gambler. I did not gamble a dime. I stayed on the Strip because it was cheap. Rental car was really cheap. And I went out and I had my adventures, and it was a lot of fun. It was only 3 full days that I was there for, flying in, then 3 days, then flying out the 5th day. But I saw a lot of birds. And I do have a short out there, a YouTube short, if you saw it, about me going birding in Nevada. It's kind of a funny one. You'll see that on the same YouTube homepage there. Sick of winter, take a break. It was 60s and sunshine there, and I was happy. So right now I'm planning my East Coast, New York to Maine trip in June of 2026, and I'm happy to say that plans are coming through. I already have reservations at Acadia National Park in June. I'm on it. So on it. I have been, and now I'm fully living in this planning stage. These trips take a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, etc. But one of the things that's a lot of fun is that somebody will be joining me, not for the whole trip. The first week that I'm there is the last week of school for my daughter, and the second week that I'm going to be spending in Maine will be the first week that she's out of school, and the plans are for her to join me in Acadia National Park, perhaps her brother Elijah as well, not sure, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to try to hit all of these states and get 50 birds before I pick them up at the airport, but if it doesn't work out, then we'll see a few more birds on the way home too. But I'm flying them out to Portland and spending some time at Acadia and maybe, perhaps, hiking up, guess what peak? Katahdin. I want to do Katahdin. That would be a lot of fun for me. It's the highest peak in Maine. It's the end of the Appalachian Trail. Love to do that. So that will be the first half of June. And, of course, I'm already planning ahead of time because when you look into it, if you get onto a tour, a lot of them are already full or close to it for a year from now, okay? So I have made contact, and they're going to put their dates out sometime in March, and so I'm going to need to be on it and already making a deposit for that. And so, and budgeting, because it ain't cheap. Those tours out there are the only way to see a lot of those birds. Getting on a professional tour gets you into the places that see the endemic birds that you will never otherwise see unless you were on that tour. And those tours are expensive. So I am already planning and budgeting for my Hawaii trip in 2027 March. And it looks like their trip might be right over my birthday. And I kid you not, my 50th birthday. So really excited, hoping that this can work. 9-day endemics and pelagics tour in March. All right, Aldea Coffee. What can I say? They're a locally owned, certified B Corp coffee company based here in West Michigan. It began in 2009 as a nonprofit in La Union, Honduras, where it continues to work to better the lives of the community and coffee product producers that live there. Aldea now has 2 cafes along the lakeshore in Muskegon and Grand Haven, and they source the majority of their coffee directly from farmers in La Union and roasts all of their at their solar-powered roastery near downtown Muskegon. Let's give them a round of applause and a big thanks for the coffee today. And if you go to Aldea, let them know you're thankful for their support of Coffee with the Birds by providing all of this coffee and the coffee service. They brew it, they bring it. Incredible. So thank you very much to Aldea. And of course, thank you to our live stream provider, Point of Light Media, with Rick Veldman. And he produces legacy videos. He does some aerial photography and video and event video as well. But the main thing is he does video work on interviewing loved ones, where you would love to hear the stories kept in perpetuity, whether your own or another family member. You can have them interviewed and have those stories on video for forever. So if you are interested in doing something like that, go to pointoflightmedia.com and check in with Rick. Now, birding tidbits. That's what we came for. I'm getting more and more stuff at the beginning of this birding tidbits. I think I'm going to need to make this an hour next season. So I did say 11:15, so I think I should be able to get through this by about 11:15. Merlin Bird ID App. Who's heard of it? Yeah, most of you. I won't embarrass you to raise your hand if you hadn't heard of it. I won't ask. If you love birds, or even if you don't, maybe you do now because you found out about the Merlin Bird ID app. It is the buzz of the birding world right now. And there's a lot of things about it that I feel like people need to know, because it's an amazing tool, but it also has its disadvantages as well. And I hope that I can balance out a view of Merlin with this presentation. What's good about it and what's not? Okay, Merlin Bird ID app. It identifies birds by step-by-step, photo, and sound. So this is the screen here. I took screenshots of my own phone to show you what it looks like. And if you download the app, it's free. You create an account on there and you can start. You do step-by-step by clicking this button. You do photo by clicking this button, and you do sound by clicking this button. It's as simple as that. There's these buttons down here where you can see your life list from connected to eBird. You can explore and look for bird species by a big long list, which I'll show you later. A lot of neat features. So first, oh yeah, I already said explore birds. And then this is what I want you to remember. Use Merlin as responsibly, as a tool. It is a tool in your toolbox, okay? It is not the end-all, be-all. I'm going to repeat myself on that. It is a tool. Your binoculars don't identify the bird for you, right? But yet you use them, and you don't rely on your binoculars to say, although there are some binoculars out there now that are identifying birds. I'm like, oh, great. It takes all the learning and enrichment out of it, okay? So there's number one. I'm getting ahead of myself. So here's the step-by-step. Real fast, you can click that step-by-step button, and this will pop up. You can do current location, or maybe you were in Texas, so you can start to type in your location in Texas when you saw this bird that you took a picture of, and a couple weeks later you want to identify it. Okay, give it a location. Give it a date as to when you took the photo. If the information is already on your photo, it may populate that information. Then it goes to what size was the bird, and you compare it to a goose, a crow, a robin, or a sparrow. Okay, was it about? So I'm identifying a bird here. Okay, I was January 4, and it was West Olive, we'll say. Okay, January 4. And it had these colors. So you click any of the buttons on here. Don't click all of them because you're going to really confuse Merlin. You click the colors here that you saw on the bird. And I saw blue and I saw red and rufous. In your mind, are you coming up with something that this could be? Maybe. And then was the bird. This is the activity of the bird. Was it eating at a feeder, swimming, or waiting on the ground, in trees or bushes, on a fence or wire? It was sitting on a fence post. Okay. So I clicked that one. And then you press identify, and it does this creating list of possible birds, and it comes up with a little list like this. This is the previous format of it. You'll notice the lighter green colored ones is actually the previous format of it, but it basically does the exact same thing now. It might just be a darker green color now. And it gives you a list of possibilities. So look at this. Red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. This one's a little interesting that they would put that in there, but they're trying to give you some reasonable answers of what you saw. You can click the bird or ID another bird and start the process over. You're like, oh, this is it. Click on Bluebird and it shows you this. And then you can click, this is my bird. And then it'll ask you if you want to enter it on eBird. Okay? With this page, you can scroll and you can see more pictures of the bird. You can see the range map. You can play their songs and such. So this is what's on the Explore part of the app. So this connects to the Explore part of the app. So what about by photo? This is cool. Okay, click this photo button right here, and it'll say take a photo or choose a photo. I don't know who does this live and like actually takes the photo. I take the photo, then I go back and choose a photo out of my album. And this is from Las Vegas area. I took these pictures and a lot of pictures of this bird, and I'm like, what is this? And then I choose my picture. It's the one with the heart. I'm going to choose this one because that was my best picture of this bird. And this is what it looks like. And then it says zoom until bird fills the box. So then it looks like this. Okay, you zoom in, you go next, and now it took my latitude and longitude, which was north of Las Vegas, and it knew my date, so that was in there. Oh, I did that out of order. There you go. And it comes up with LeConte's thrasher. That is actually what the bird was. I identified it in the field, of course. But I use this because I need an example. And I thought it might be fun to do something that maybe you're not familiar with, right? If you saw this bird in your backyard, well, you won't. You might be like, what is that thing? And you might need Merlin Bird ID to identify it. This is a LeConte's thrasher. It says rare. They are uncommon out there. They're pretty hard to find. And then you can see that report with eBird marker down there. It was already in eBird. But it did come up with results. So this was the results here of what it could be that it took from this picture. It doesn't necessarily want to give you just one answer. So I have these slides just a little bit out of order here, but I'm like, that looks like what my bird is here. Look at the black eye, the long curved bill, the very light colored plumage. It doesn't have these facial markings that the crystal thrasher has, and these, no. So can you find your bird? Once you get to this screen here, then you can scroll down and you can play the song here. You can look at its range. Why did I want to see that bird on that trip? Look at its range. I'd never birded in that area before. The closest I had been was southeast Arizona, but chances of getting that bird here, even in central Arizona, very, very slim. So I knew I needed to come to Vegas. That's like one of the best places in the country to find that bird. That's why I say you won't find it in your backyard here. So you can, okay. When you do the Explore, so now I'm going to show you the Explore Birds function, which is similar to what you just saw there. And it does three things. You can scroll through. This is a little video here starting up. So if you do Explore, click it, you can scroll all the way through, but it starts you at the beginning of the taxonomic order. Or you can tap a bird icon over here like the vultures or hummingbirds, and then tap the specific hummingbird that you want to look at, which is the Costa's hummingbird. Because I wanted to hear its song. And guess what I was hearing on that trip? Costa's hummingbirds doing their display. And look at that range map again. It was another one of those. Both of these birds were lifers for me on this trip. But then you can also type the name. If you were watching up here, you can type the name of the bird that you want to look up. I typed in redpoll, and then you can see the map here of where the redpolls are. You can hear their songs, etc. It's a really neat. It's a bird book in your pocket. Okay. So it works really well as a bird book as well. So now comes the good part, right? This is what everybody uses, how everybody uses Merlin. I recommend you use those other tools as well, but it is identified by sound. You can record, then you review, then you compare. Okay, so those are the three things that you're going to see this video go through. Okay, and I did this video from a former, I had to record on my phone the former recording so that it would identify that it was a thing. But this recording ultimately was from March 27, not from February 11 or whatever date I did this, okay? So you press the sound button here, and I've coordinated it with my sound file. So you can see the sounds here. Ooh, American tree sparrow. Oh, downy woodpecker. It lights up in yellow as it hears the sound. Goldfinches are in there, juncos. The dark-eyed junco again. The tree sparrow is constantly singing. Cardinal is chinking. Downy woodpecker, and you can see it light up there. Black-capped chickadee. It's catching a lot, right? It's pretty amazing. Can your brain take in that cacophony of sound and identify all of those birds? Okay. We're going to talk about that. So you're recording right now, and it is not listening to the sound so much as taking pictures of the sound on the sonogram here. Okay? That's why it's able to see all of the layers of sound. And then it recognizes patterns as well. If something continues to repeat, that gives more credence to that it is that bird. Pretty amazing. You can see there's some background noise. Less background noise is better. So now I've stopped the recording. The birds keep singing, right? And now I'm going to review. Okay? So I tap American crow, and it takes me to the crow. And then I can tap American goldfinch and replay that part. Okay? You tap the button to American robin. Did you hear it? So it takes you to the part of the recording where it heard it. Now I'm doing American tree sparrow. Or fox sparrow. I'm doing fox sparrow. Excuse me. Did you hear that rich warbling sound? Fox sparrow was singing there too. So now you can compare. You pull down the sound recordings, which are connected to the Explore part. Right while you're in this, you can compare it to the sound that's on the app. Yes, that does fit. So I know it's a little bit of Fast and Furious on there, but I thought the best way to do this is going to be to have the recording up on the screen. So basically, you can check yourself real time, and you should. Okay, if it says you've heard a bird and you're not familiar with that song, you're going to just take it verbatim, or are you going to do your checking? Well, in today's day and age, I know a lot of people are not doing their homework and just like to have things give them their answers. But I'm gonna not wait till the end to say this line. You gotta use Merlin with a brain. You've been given a brain that functions so awesomely and can discern things that AI can't. It's gonna make mistakes. Use your brain along with it. And one of the ways you can do that is by comparing the song to the recording. And you can play them simultaneously, okay? So it's a really great tool to compare and learn bird songs. And I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. But you can also click the My Recordings tab on there, and you can see all your previous recordings. Look at all my LeConte's thrasher and sagebrush sparrow, bell sparrow. So now bell sparrow, I don't believe. And I didn't record that as a species, because the calls between sagebrush sparrow and bell sparrow are very, very close, and bell sparrow is pretty rare where I was. So I did not count that. And you gotta step up and it's okay, I'm not counting that bird. It's okay. I actually wanted to see it better too, and I never did see one that looked like a bell sparrow. Was there one there? Maybe, but I didn't confirm it. And if I don't confirm it with my brain, remember, we use our brains with it, then I'm not going to count it as a bird that I saw. Okay? But there's Costa's hummingbird and Anna's hummingbird on the same list. That was fun. More on that in my future videos to come. Use caution. Oh, wait, did I say that already? Because this video here shows that there is one vireo singing. Okay, this is an older one from 2022. And so it doesn't light up in yellow. They didn't have that feature at the time. But you'll hear a vireo singing, here I am, there I go, red-eyed, vireo. But the Philadelphia vireo sings a very similar song. So let's see what happens. That's the red start. How many birds are singing here? And the red start. Okay. One vireo. And then I backed it up. I tapped Philadelphia vireo, and it brought me back to one of the red-eyed vireo songs and said that one was a Philadelphia. And I know it's not because I'm listening to one bird. Okay. So it makes mistakes. Being aware with your own knowledge of birds and birding will help you to eliminate those mistakes and say, oh, wait, I only hear two birds right now, these two. And this one, where did that one come from? And it's actually the same recording of the same bird. Now, this one's funny. I was in Slovakia a year and a half ago visiting my brother, and one of the birds I wanted to see, but hear, is the corn crake. Okay, it's a little rail bird that likes grassland meadows. And you go out at night and these things call. Well, I did the sound recording just to get it recorded, and I'll say that later. Like, you can use this as a recording tool. Even if you know what bird it is, it's a great tool just to get the recording of the bird to put on your eBird checklist. So that's what I was doing because I was hearing it. You can see this. And I had to, it's really faint in my recording, so I added a recording to go along with this. What did it identify? See if this sounds like a mallard duck. Quack, 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 quack. It thought this was a mallard. I busted out laughing. I could not believe it. So sometimes similarly sounding birds will be misidentified. It was definitely not a mallard. But I did hear the corn crake out in that field, never did see it, and got these faint recordings that you wouldn't be able to hear in a big room like this. So use caution with the sound ID. All right, we're going to wrap this up. This has to be a pretty quick presentation. How to use the Merlin Bird ID app. First of all, as a tool in your toolkit. You have binoculars, hopefully. You don't need binoculars to bird, but they're really helpful to see the birds up close. You've got a bird book. You've got apps to identify birds on your phone, maybe the Sibley app. And you've got Merlin, okay? Use it as a tool in your toolkit to help you identify birds, not as the one and done thing that's going to tell you everything that's there. Use it to aid, as an aid to learning birds and their songs, to become a better birder. Don't use it to keep you from being a better birder. Use it, check the sounds you're hearing, learn them yourself. The satisfaction you get out of learning these birds, use it as a tool to learn the birds, not for it to just passively tell you what birds are there. Okay? Do just one at a time. One at a time. Start paying closer attention. You'll be surprised. You'll pick it up. Okay? And maybe you've already experienced that without even trying, right? Cardinals singing, black-capped chickadees singing. You start to now know them. Well, be more intentional about it. When you hear a sound that you're unfamiliar with and it tells you it's a black and white warbler, play the black and white warbler song on there and then listen to it real time and say, does that match that? Okay? Then go look for the bird and confirm it visually too. Okay? You may not always have that opportunity, but do it if you can. Okay? Use caution to become a better birder. Use it to become a better birder. And like I said, use it as a recording device. Add sound files to eBird. If you're eBirding with Merlin, take that sound file and put it in eBird. You don't have to put it to a specific species. There's actually a place where you can put it in the soundscape, and you can just do the whole recording in the soundscape part of the eBird checklist so that it's there. And I recommend that you do that if you're relying on, if you want to prove some of the birds that you've identified, put that whole sonogram on there. And use it to aid you in finding what you may be missing. Now, this is really good, and this is where it's helpful for people like me that know most of the bird songs. There's so many layers of bird songs in that recording that I played for you. It's hard to pick them all out. Our brains have to go through one at a time, right? This thing, its advantage is that it doesn't have to go one at a time. It's looking at pictures on the sonogram. And so there might be a white-throated sparrow singing in the distance that it picks up that I wasn't hearing. I heard it, but I wasn't listening to it, okay? I call those wallpaper birds, you know, the birds that are, maybe it was a chickadee or something, and I've just been focused on something else and didn't notice specifically that it was there. This can call attention to that and be, oh, shoot, yeah, there is, you know, that nuthatch over there or something. Also, it'll help you in the overwhelm when you've got a lot going on. Or hearing loss. A lot of people have told me they have hearing loss and they don't hear the high-pitched things that Merlin does, and so it'll tell them when a golden-crowned kinglet or a brown creeper is calling. Or maybe that Cape May warbler that you can never hear anymore because it's such a high-pitched song. Okay, it tells you it's there, then you know to look. Okay, use it as a tool. How not to use it? To create eBird checklists. This is one of the biggest dangers of Merlin, is to just let it roll, and then take everything on that list and make it your eBird checklist and submit. Don't do that. It's not going to make you a better birder, and it's going to be inaccurate, okay? So I know it's a little bit more work for you, but that's good because it's brain power. So don't do eBird checklist verbatim from Merlin, okay? Do Merlin with a brain. I'm getting ahead of myself again. And don't use eBird to identify, and then in the comments say identified by Merlin, okay? You need to identify the bird. You confirm the bird with the tools you have by visually seeing the bird or by comparing the songs. Then you become a better bird, and that sighting becomes more credible, okay? And the data then is more valuable as a whole. And don't use it to identify rare birds, because rare birds will pop up on your thing like yellow-breasted chat. Oh, yellow-breasted, I got a chat. And then if it's rare, when you put it on your eBird checklist, you're going to really need to do some scrutiny over that. It will do weird birds. When this thing first came out, it was giving me birds from South America. I kid you not. And it still makes mistakes and will give you a rare bird. And don't use this as proof. Well, Merlin identified it, so it's got to be. No. If it's a rare bird, I would double check and triple check and get that visual too. It doesn't hurt if you say to somebody, hey, this popped up, and send your recording to somebody who could maybe pick out the song. So if yellow-breasted chat pops up on there, you send it to somebody and say, hey, is this a yellow-breasted chat in there? That's no shame, okay? That's how you learn. You ask questions, but don't assume that Merlin's got it right. So some positives of Merlin Bird ID app: it helps engage more people with the joy of birding. Flat out, there's no denying it. The birding world, the birder world has been growing exponentially with this tool. Do I love this tool? I do, but I just want people to use it right. So it helps engage more people with the joy of birding. It helps birders to find more birds, right? As I explained, you're going to find more birds. It helps birders, when used correctly, to become better birders. I'm repeating myself, right? Better bird listeners and finders, okay? And that's ultimately what you want to really fully enjoy the recreation of birding. You want to become a better birder. What are some of the negatives? It's not 100% trustworthy, okay? It's going to make mistakes. Just remember that. We'll make mistakes. Reduced critical thinking due to reliance on AI, okay? We have that as a major issue socially right now, not just in the bird world, but it is infecting the bird world right now too, okay? Our reliance on AI is reducing our ability to think critically and to problem solve. I've got worries about that. You know, for our next generations, the generations that are going to be taking care of me when I'm needing care, you know, I want them to be able to think critically. And it can lead to decline in birding abilities, Okay, so if you were a birder that once knew the songs and now you're like, I don't have to do that anymore. I'll just, Merlin, you're reducing your brain power. And it leads into a decline in birding abilities with the reliance on that. So, like I said, use Merlin with a brain. I said that with GPS too. When I started using GPS on my phone, like, it's still good to know where you're going because GPS can make mistakes, and by golly, Google Maps does make mistakes. It tried to take me to a location in Nevada that was entirely the wrong way. And I tried and tried and tried to make it take me the right way, and it would not do it. To within a quarter mile of both locations, it wanted to take me around on this like 4-wheel drive road rather than the paved road that went to the spot that I was supposed to go to. So you got to use these tools with a brain. All right. There's more resources out there, and these videos are linked in the description of the video that the live stream here. I've got them linked there. They're also linked on the website, miottawa.org/birding. Just click the Coffee with the Birds link, and that's where folks online are actually watching this video or linking to this video. Just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the icon with the Merlin Bird ID, and below that, with a little description things, you'll see the links to these videos from Cornell Lab of Ornithology, a demonstration of it. Badgerland Birding did an independent beginner's guide to it. This talks more about how it identifies birds by sound. And then this is a really good critical thinker video down here. Does Merlin make you worse at birding? Okay, asks the hard questions, which we need to do. So I recommend that one for sure. And with that, are there any questions on Merlin Bird ID? Yeah.
Does Merlin have a section where when it describes the sounds by using words, like you had that really cute little thing, like those?
The mnemonics.
And I like those. Where can I find those?
Unfortunately, it doesn't, because the mnemonic, that's called a mnemonic, a word that describes a sound, are so in the ear of the beholder, right? So to translate that, I think would just take too much. So there isn't a tool right now where you could translate, hey, sweetie, to, oh, it must be a chickadee. But
Where did you learn that, or did you come up with them?
Mostly from other birders and birding for a long time, and some of them were when I didn't know a bird. For instance, there was a bird in North Carolina that was singing, look at you. So now, look at you. Anybody know what bird I'm talking about? In North Carolina, we get them here in the dunes. Look at you. No? Hooded warbler. Hooded warbler, wit-to-wit-to-wit-to-chew, I think is the the mnemonic that is used in the book. But I was like, look at you, and I was like, I sure would like to. Finally, I did. But it can be your own, or it could be learned from another person. Like white-throated sparrow, for me, a lot of people say old Sam Peabody, and I say no, pure sweet Canada, Canada, Canada. That's what my dad taught me. And I like that one better. So, but good question. Any other questions? Yeah.
To what degree does this require internet connection?
It does not require internet connection.
So
You
install the app, everything is in it.
Everything is in it. Yep. In fact, you download a pack for the area you're in. So if you're going to travel somewhere, you might want to download the pack for the area you're going to. It'll know you're there and be like, do you want to? You're starting your first checklist and you're like, oh shoot, now I got to wait for it to download the pack of the birds in this area. But
Go to some remote area where
yes,
Las Vegas while you're on the strip.
do it there. Do it when you have Wi-Fi. I put Nevada on mine before I even left. So, but yeah, put it on there. It should be able to function even without Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yes, and yep. You can use it internationally. I used this a lot when I went to Europe. A lot. And it was really helpful.
Did the sound match? Because
It did
the sound didn't match.
it did a pretty good job. It did a pretty good job. I think it was making some mistakes, but I was always confirming visually until I learned a bird and then heard the song. then you could continue to repeat, oh, that's a such and such, you know, that's.
These days it usually just come up blank for the sound. It would maybe show one really common bird.
Yeah.
But I don't think everything was in it.
So some areas may not have quite the number of sound recordings to compare it to yet as others, so it works better in some areas than others, but it did work very well in Europe. Explorer works better. Yeah, there you go. Any other questions before we move on? One more, and then back there.
You said you should not use it only to identify by sound, but are there times when you do in fact do that? You say, I know for a fact that that is some bird.
If I know in my own mind that that's what it is.
So for your 50-50 rule,
Yeah.
you don't have to actually see it if it's one that you know for sure.
Correct. I like to see all the birds, but a bird to count on your list doesn't need to be seen, only heard. So that corncrake is on my life list. I only heard it, but you can count it on your life list. Yes. Yes. But if I'm identifying by sound and Merlin is aiding in that, I'm adding to that identification, not just the AI's ability, but my ability and experience mixed in with that. Yep. Okay. Did I have a question in the back here? Yeah.
I've had my Merlin app quite a while. Do I need to update that?
I do believe they've got updates every now and again. You'd have to check, and the functionality is basically what you see on there. The little yellow things pop up when the bird sings out there and such. You can always go into the app and check and see if it needs updates. But I don't know how often it does, but you might want to check it out. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, with that, it is time for the door prize. Are you ready, Marcia, with the door prize? Okay, can I have it brought up? We've got some door prizes here. And I'm going to turn this for those online. And I see it is already 11:20. Oh, my goodness. I talked too long. I make up for it. For session 2, I'll go 45 minutes regardless, 45, 50 minutes. So we've got some prizes here. Aldea brought some coffee again. This prize is going to be, you choose one or the other, whether you want an owl house or a cardinal feeder. All right.
These are, if you bought a mud club anytime previously and you haven't already won a door prize, your name's in here.
Yes.
And you got one today.
Yep. Yep, we added in. Thank you, Marcia, for adding in the ones after last night. Around 5:30, I ran the numbers and I put the cards in here, but Marcia's been updating it in real time, so thank you. All right. First up, we'll go with this My Birds hat, donated from Audubon Great Lakes and the My Birds program. It's got some stickers here as well, and the winner is Ryan Beebe, and he is not here. I know Ryan. He won the contest with last year. He's the American Avocet picture taker. Ryan Beebe got a hat. We will get that to him. Are you online? If you're online, make a comment there. And I know he's typically got swim meets and things to go to. Aldea Coffee. Okay. The coffee prize bag goes to Gary Slover. Is Gary here? Is Gary online? Let us know. Gary Slover gets the coffee. All right. We got a poster with stickers. Amber Zorman. Is Amber here? No Amber? Amber Zorman gets a poster and some stickers, courtesy My Birds. Okay, we've got suet and a bag of seed here is the next. I'm hoping we get somebody in the audience. That's more fun. Jessica Berkey. Oh, good. Okay. We'll accept that. All right. So you're not Jessica, you are Amanda. Okay. We'll trust her with that. Awesome. Should we trust her with that? I need to see some ID now. Okay, excellent. We had somebody here. And now the choice of this cardinal feeder or the owl box goes to Eric Franklin. He is not here. Eric oh, I got to show it here. Eric, are you online? This is your prize. So we kind of got somebody in the audience this time around. More of you need to show up. We're so thankful for the support we've gotten for memberships with the program. Thank you for showing up today for Coffee with the Birds. Next month, I will be telling the story of finding the 5 northern owls on a trip to Minnesota as the birding tidbit. We have one more session left this winter, and then it's spring. So then we get out there and go birding, right? So thank you all for coming. I will be transitioning into the room next door for the second feeder watching session, and the rest of you feel free to head out or hang around, get some more coffee and donuts, but thank you so much for coming.
I was
Yeah,
out
real
at
quick.
Grand Haven, yeah, and could I have seen that on the
Yes.
channel?
Yes.
A little flock of them?
Yep,
Okay.
very likely.
And I used Merlin to figure, I followed your, I had a little
Okay.
photo and I used Merlin to
Oh,
find
okay.
that, but
You did it by photo ID?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
and you
then
compare the,
I
yeah.
couldn't tell from the range if that was really.
They are here. They stay out on the lake, and sometimes they come in closer to the piers in the channel. They don't as often do that as some of the other waterfowl. They tend to be out on the lake, but when we get more ice and things, then we tend to see them more. And I've been seeing quite a few people reporting them close in. So, yep, yep, yeah, you're welcome.
I was gonna say, I did a 60-mile hike that ended on the top of Katahdin a couple of years ago.